All right. Can you guys hear me? Is everything live? Just waiting for the comments. Leave us a comment if you can hear me. I see you 4. Yeah, what's up? Okay, audio is good. Good. Let's wait for a few more people to get in. Awesome. Fabian, I appreciate you, brother. Got 6 people in here. Let's wait for a few more. Let's send out some invites. For you 5 that are in right now, can I get 5 comments? I know we got Yehia already, Fabian. Let me get a few more. How are you guys doing? You guys doing good today? Hopefully you're doing good. We're moving all day long, so yeah. Just waiting on a few more people to hop on in. Let's send out invites, you guys that are in right now. See if we can get a few more people in the chat. Let's actually put out a notification in our group on Telegram because we've got something pretty cool that we're going to talk about in a little bit. Awesome. Yeah, got it. So pinning and notifying all members. So we're just going to give everybody a few seconds. Got 6 people here. Okay, so this is what we're going to do, guys. We got 7 people. I'm going to give it literally 30 more seconds, and then I'm going to make a pretty cool announcement for you guys. So just invite a few more people because they're going to want to hear it as well. All right, we got 30 seconds. All right, 10 seconds. All right, we got 8 people in here. All right, this is going to be pretty cool. This is going to be pretty cool for you guys. You guys can hear me, right? Everybody can hear me? Cool. Crypto whale. Love it. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is all 8 of you that are watching, invite as many people to come into this chat right now. I'm going to pick one person that has invited people to this chat. So invite as many people as you can, and then tell them to come into the chat and to mention your username, okay? And if you do that, I'm gonna connect with you. Mention your Telegram username if you're inside of the group already. And whoever gets mentioned the most in the chat during the next, let's say 5 minutes, whoever gets mentioned the most, we're gonna send some AVEX tokens to. It's, how much should we send? We'll send 100 AVEX tokens. That's like $500. So invite people right now. You've got 7 people, 8 people. Have them mention your Telegram username because you should be in our group already. And we'll send you tokens literally right after this live. Okay? So I'm gonna wait. Yeah, you guys should be dropping off. You should be inviting people. That number should be going down right now. I'm literally just gonna hand out $500 just for being on live. So, 100 AVEX. Let's talk about our currency. That's a gift from Aevolve to you. So send out your invites and tell them to mention your Telegram name in the comments. I'm just gonna sit here and wait. I guess I'll tell you guys about my day. We're just moving all day long from one place to another, working on a few things in the Telegram, making sure that everything's set there to make sure that what took place the other day doesn't happen again. Also been working on some marketing preparation stuff. I mentioned the one-click wallet to you guys. That's going to make it really easy to onboard people to the crypto space without having to download a MetaMask or a Trust wallet, linking it to your PancakeSwap, to your Uniswap, setting slippage, making the buys, the sells. This will handle all of that. Easy, simple user interface. It's going to be the Robinhood of crypto, except people are actually going to own their crypto instead of what Robinhood does, right? So it's going to be super fire. And then when I start running those TikTok campaigns and all those people that want to get into crypto but just don't know how, encounter that one-click wallet, it's going to be fire. It's going to be fire. We're going to the moon, as they say. All right. Got a couple more minutes. Make some invites. Come on, guys. They got to get in this chat and they got to mention your name. If they don't mention your name, then nobody's getting anything. All right. All right. 9 people. Okay, so 10 people. Somebody new's here. Why don't you guys leave a comment? Somebody leave a comment. Leave a comment. Give me somebody's name. Jorge, what's up? Who invited you? Tell me who invited you. Oh man, we got 10 people. Who invited you? Who invited you? Give me a name so that we can give away these tokens. We want to give away these tokens. All right, nobody invited. Okay, there are 11 people. People are definitely being invited. Drop the name in the comments below. Who invited you? Hey, hi, Billy. You don't count. You're a part of the team. All right. Got 10 people. Okay. Masriam sent me. I'm gonna write that down. That person is gonna be the only person who gets tokens. All right. Thanks, Chris Ganaban. Okay, I'm writing these down. Mass. Got it. Okay, there are 2 people, so I'm definitely about to flip a coin. Those of you that are already in the chat, there's 17 of you. I'm gonna literally give it 2 more minutes. I want people to get into the chat and leave a comment as to who invited you. Give me their Telegram username, and that person, whoever is picked, is going to get tokens gifted to them from Aevolve to them. All right, we got about 1 minute and 15 seconds, and then I'm going to get Vons back into here. All right, got about a minute, and then I'm going to get Vons here. Okay, so we've got okay, that person is definitely going to win, I think. All right, awesome. You got Masriam. I'm definitely going to find you. Michael, what's up? How's it going? All right, Lanes, what's up, guys? Hey, welcome. We got a whole bunch of people in the chat now. That's awesome. That's good. We're going to get Vons in here in about 20 seconds. In case you guys don't already know, I'm Sam. I run the digital marketing here at Aevolve. It's my job to make sure that the token does really well and that people, most importantly, know our message, that it's communicated clearly, what we're all about, what it is that we're trying to do here at Aevolve. So Without further ado, I'm going to bring on our CEO, Mr. Vons Santos. So please, let's give him a round of applause. Yay! What's up, bro?
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
I'm good. What's up, brother?
Good. Glad to have you here. You got a number of people that were invited by some of our friends. Sorry, I'll move out of the way. I'll give you some room. Get you in the frame.
Hi, guys.
Yes. Awesome. Glad to have you here.
Glad to be here.
we got a whole bunch of people in the chat that were being just amazing community supporters and telling other people about this AMA and what it is that we're trying to do. We got Fabian. Fabian sent them. Awesome.
Fabian's rocking it.
Awesome.
What's
Michael
up, Mike?
says, what's up?
What's up, Mike?
What's going on? All right, guys. Hey, this AMA episode 7 of 90. Remember, we're doing this all the way up till September 23rd when we have our CoinDesk announcement. What are we going to do when that happens?
I will be announcing the first biotech that will be launching on the Aevolve platform.
On the Aevolve Biospheres platform. Guys, it's going to be super awesome, super exciting. We might even have some special guests on there.
Absolutely. Yes.
But right now, guys, we appreciate all the comments. The reason why we're here today, I know I had mentioned that we were going to talk about the Swiss ISIN, but based upon some of the feedback that we received from the community, we thought it would be more important today to make the topic of conversation really our why. Right?
Untold stories.
The untold stories. What actually happens in the pharma world, what happens in the biotech world, and where it is that we're actually going to be making a difference for you and for really the world, right?
That's right.
So maybe you want to start us off with.
Well, should we? Do we have a new guest? Understand what the?
No. I think that there are definitely new guests. So what I wanted us to talk about first is definitely, in a nutshell, just a couple sentences. What is Aevolve, and what is it that we're trying to do? Right?
Aevolve is addressing a problem that has been talked about for a long time. We all know that there's this conspiracy theory language going around for a long time, saying, big pharma has been hiding medicine. There's a cure for this. It's been oppressed. They don't release treatments out because they don't make enough money about it make money from it, or it's too poor the community they're trying to serve. There's a lot of these words buzzing around, and yet you hear about all this gigantic amount of money in big pharma, but yet we all know that they prioritize not us but them. We've seen the stories with Shkreli increasing the EpiPen from $12 to $500, and as of right now, after all of that, all of those Senate hearings, after all of those water bucket challenges, today the price is now even higher. It's from $500 to $600. So, What are we talking about right now? We're talking about Aevolve is a fight against the big pharma greed. Big pharma is sick, and we are the cure. So how do we cure it? Blockchain, a wonderful solution that allows biotech companies, the underdog scientists, the research that should be out there to get out there by connecting patients to the actual research directly in a mechanism that allows a financial event to happen, protection for the patient, and we have a lot of videos about it. But really, we are solving a problem, a very, very, very big problem. And in fact, with the coronavirus, one of the most relevant problems today.
Right. So in a nutshell, what we've built is a blockchain-based marketplace that connects those who have created these innovative technologies, treatments, cures, vaccines, whatever it is, with the patients that actually need them, right? And we just connect them. We remove the middleman. We make sure that these guys are able to get to market and commercialize, and we're able to make sure that those that are sick and those that need healing and help are able to receive the treatment that they need, because there is stuff out there, guys. There's plenty of stuff out there. I mentioned in the previous AMA, my best friend and literally like my brother died at the age of 25 from stomach cancer chemo radiation made him super sick. And, he took a little bit of time, a little bit of a break, and they were going to do a surgery on him to, remove the last bit of whatever was left in him. And during that period of time where he was waiting for recovery, that 1% left of cancer that was still sitting in him metastasized, got into his lymph nodes and spread everywhere. And he's not here with me today. And, knowing that there are technologies, there are treatments available out there that don't necessarily get the attention or the funding that they need for one reason or another, be it big pharma, for whatever reason, blackballing the science or the technology, or maybe not making sure that the funding doesn't actually get there. That is what moves me. That is what my heart is. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm working. And that's why, I serve with these guys who've been building the foundation for this for 3 years. So I'm glad that you guys get to hear these stories. And really what we've decided upon was to make this an episode, an AMA for stories, to tell you guys really the stories that move us and why it is that we do what we do, because there are treatments out there. There are technologies, and what it is we want to bring these to the world. And maybe you can start us off with some that
I think I'll start off with part of what got us to this point. So before Aevolve, and still, I actually chair a company called Amylex. So Amylex is a biotech company that centralizes its research around Alzheimer's. We have a technology that was developed 10 years before even I got on board, starting all the way back in early 2000s. And between 2010 up till now, in 2018, after 8 years of commercialization work, research, we were able to accomplish one of the first commercially approved FDA approvals for human use for a technology which would impact what we believe is one of the core sources of Alzheimer's disease. Now, in that journey, because of my own personal experience, we had a lot of challenges.
Question for you.
Yes.
Can we add Andy in this? Because he's such a...
Of course.
Andy?
Do we have Andy in the room? Andy
is, I said this
Page
every episode.
Andy Stein.
He is the co-founder and really the spark that started this so long ago. It was his father.
Andy, please come join us.
That was the scientist that created really the programmable enzyme, this technology that allows us to, and allows you guys at Amylex to do what it is that you guys do. This guy is the one. He's the reason actually why I joined Aevolve, because our hearts collided, and it made sense. It made sense that this was the way, and this is what needs to be done. So, Mr. Andy Stein, really, I mean, the one that started it all. So,
there we go.
Thank you. That was a nice intro. I appreciate that. Hi, guys.
Yeah. So he's going to be with us while we kind of share these stories, because he has many of his own. Vons has many of his own, and I gave you a little bit of kind of what brought me here as well. So just take it away. Why don't you?
So I think the one thing that I wanted to share was when we started Amylex, and Amylex was one of those technologies where, for me, it was one of the first biotech companies that I myself ever engaged in. My background was in technology. I had built companies around real estate, software, and so one day when my good friend and his father approached me regarding leading up this biotech initiative to take it from commercialization, from molecules, from laboratory to commercial process, which was years.
Yeah.
There were two things that I realized. I was like, this is going to take a decade of my life.
Yeah.
So that's a commitment that's very hard for many people to really, really understand.
How old were you? Like 27?
I think, 27, 28.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
So you're my age.
I was your age when we made that choice. To literally say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I think it was at the age of 30 when we made the full commit. And that's when this whole journey really began, for myself at least, right?
Yeah.
And so in that process, one of the things that I decided on, I said, no VC funding. Now, when I said the first thing was it was going to take a decade of my life, the second thing was, holy crap, this is going to take a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, but I made a choice. I said, no VC funding. Now, what does no VC funding mean? Why would I do that? It's because I knew that the moment I got venture capital into the mix, the risk was higher for this thing to have been killed before it was even born. Mm-hmm. And that was a very hard choice, but it was a very tough choice. But it was a very strong decision, probably the best we ever made. In fact, I will tell you today, many companies and many executives will say, "How the heck did Amolex get to that point without venture funding?" And we did. All right, we did. But during that time period, you learn a lot about an industry, and Andy knows this pain with me, because when you talk about to understand the context of that success, 1 in 10,000 molecules start from where we started at, new molecular origination.
10,000
companies? 1 in 10,000 companies.
Okay.
Actually, 1 in 10,000 applications, which is really a molecule.
Yeah.
1 in 10,000 applications will actually get the human commercial FDA approval for a brand new molecule like we're talking about. So that means we are 1 in 10,000 at the very least. Mm-hmm. So we are a rare breed.
At the very least.
Okay. That's true. And people say, it's because of the science or because of that. The reality is a majority of those fail because of the costs and the amount of money it takes. So they actually fail not because the science is bad. It's because they have financial hurdles throughout that journey. We're fortunate enough that we were patient and creative, and we went left and right and up and down, did by hook, tooth, and nail just to go ahead and make sure that thing worked, and it did. And here's one of the lessons that I learned, or one of the experiences that I had. We had many investors that came on board because they had a loved one that actually had Alzheimer's. And I remember one time when there was this woman who was one of our investors who had a husband that actually suffered from Alzheimer's. And it was during the time of 2016 when there was a financial crisis in Europe. And that financial crisis was affecting Greece. I think you may have heard about it. If you remember the time when there was lines of people lining up behind ATMs because the banks were literally shutting down and holding all their money, and they were only allowing a little bit amount of cash out. That crisis affected a lot of our next wave investors for that project. And so when things were on hold, I remember having a phone call when one of our investors was trying to talk about what was going on, and the husband had a particular type of Alzheimer's symptoms where he became violent. So that's one of the unfortunate symptoms, depending on how it affects your brain. And so I heard things falling in the background, screaming and tears. She started crying out in tears. And then, of course, a few months later, this very same husband of hers, while we were stuck trying to figure out our financial route, he had passed on. He died. At that moment, I always knew that it was a very challenging, a very challenging disease. But to experience people that you knew, that trusted you, to actually have a scenario where the loved ones died and they were hoping that we were fast enough just to actually get the treatment out to these people, that really affected me. It really hit home. And I will say that because of that lesson, the pain of biotech, especially of those that actually have cures in their hand, real deal treatments. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that their actual pain is to know that they have something important that can save somebody's life, and probably know somebody that actually it is affecting, and the real pain is that they can't get to that next stage and get those people treated because of financial issues. And when we think about money, I look at the crypto space, and one of the things that actually really drove me is back in 2018, I saw so many ICOs creating $50 million, $70 million, $1 billion tokens, which we all know probably weren't going to do anything anyways, except make a quick buck here and there. Meanwhile, I know an army of research and scientists that are literally suffering because they can't get the next $30 million for those trials, or the next 20 million. And so where were the world's priorities, right? So I'm not going to go ahead and judge that. I said I'll go to where they're at, and so we are here talking to all y'all, talking to you guys. But that story I wanted to share because it wasn't just one person like that. There were many investors, many with Alzheimer's concerns, and I mean, at the very least, we pushed and pushed to at least keep the first part of our promise.
Yeah.
And so when you engage in a 10-year project, it's beyond financial sense, guys, right? When you engage into a project where it's 10,000 to 1 for success, come on, that makes no business sense. So let me tell you what makes sense, though. It's an absolute belief that what you're doing is so important that it doesn't matter what anyone says, what challenge comes around, it carries you. And even more powerful was to remember that the work that you do is there's people hoping for it, they're grasping for it, they're waiting for it, and it's on your shoulders to make sure that you do your best, you do your absolute best to make sure that the very reason why they're around and is a promise, and that you fulfill that promise.
Can I say something?
Absolutely, go ahead.
I actually want to ask a question since people are listening. In your lifetime, just really think about this. How often do you hear about a disease getting cured? And as you think about that, do you think diseases are not curable? So the whole point of why we exist is to streamline the process, because companies don't invent cures and treatments. Scientists like my father do. And those scientists work for those companies. And there are some amazing medical innovations out there that just didn't have a pathway that can actually get them to reach fruition. So Aevolve exists to streamline the process. This is the first time in history that scientists are going to realize that they can get, and by innovating companies, that they can get as much funding, all the funding of their dreams, simply by switching the power of who chooses which innovations get funded from big pharma or venture capitalists or Shark Tank kind of people, by putting it in the hands of the people so they can fund the companies by buying these medical treatments for themselves. So this is something novel and revolutionary. There's going to be a lot of cures, treatments, medical technologies that never existed before that you're going to see emerging because of our platform. And that's why AVEX exists. Is the token going to be valuable? Of course, but that's because of what we're doing with it for medical, to create access for people around the world.
The value of the token is a byproduct of the value that we are simply bringing together, right? The value has always been there. Think about what the real value is. It's the innovation of a scientist, the heart of a researcher dedicating their lives, the risk taken by the very people that says, okay, we're going to try to do this no matter what. That's the value that we're putting through AVEX. The financial number is the byproduct. And I'm telling you right now, there is nothing more powerful. There's nothing more powerful than this value. In fact, blockchain will be lucky to experience these kind of value adds through this platform, because at the end of the day, it's heart, it's spirit, it's power, because there is no project that has reached the stages that we have without absolute power and determination that has run through it. Absolute power.
I also want to say something. In blockchain, most people, not everybody, but most people kind of hide their faces. They don't want to show who they are. They just want their business to go out. We're showing who we are. We're showing what we're doing. We're showing how long we've been doing it, and that we're not intending to go away for a very long time, because we're here to not just make money for everybody, which is a nice side effect, but we're actually installing something in this planet while we're still here, which will still be here when we're not here anymore. That's what this is about. And we've really been putting our heart into it. I mean, we're the guys that everybody wants to see out there. We've been traveling the world for years to make this, manifest this into a reality. So.
Very good. Hey, Fabian's kind of killing it.
Yeah. Fabian's my guy. Fabian is actually a pharmacist by trade.
Oh, wonderful.
He's a doctor of pharmacy. Yeah.
Nice. So yeah. In fact, and you said you have Fabian. So as a pharmacist,
he's a good guy.
He resonates with this project, right?
He does.
In fact, we have many in the industry that actually are part of the team, and part of that is because they are from the inside and they know what's going on. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And I'm gonna sell my house for AVEX. Do you guys have any other stories that you want to talk about where
Yes.
you know that where you know that a treatment or a cure
Sure.
or something was available,
Oh, yes.
but for whatever reason,
Plenty.
you know, there wasn't a platform like Aevolve
Yeah.
to kind of bridge the gap between existing technologies
I
and
mean,
How about New York?
patients in need.
yeah, we can talk about New York. We can talk about this Texas company.
You see them?
We
This is
can
what
talk
they
about
do. This is
California.
all day, every day. I'm not.
I mean, we
We
have
have tons
so-
of company examples.
Oh,
we can
look,
throw
here,
at
here,
this.
here. I'll give you an example. You talked about cancer, right?
Yes.
In
Yes.
cancer, believe it or not, and I would love to have one day a bunch of science discussions with the guys
Listen
out
to
there.
this. Listen to this.
You know, in Asia right now, there's actually research being done with technologies that could actually replace chemotherapy without radiation, right? Through a unique combination of salts.
It's incredible.
Salt, right? Obviously, it's not regular table salt, but what's unique about it is that this very technology, this very approach to non-radiation based type of chemo without the side effects, literally has been known for over 35 years. For 35 years, and when I say it's being studied in Asia, it originated here in California, and in Texas we studied. Why is it outside of the U.S.? Ask yourself this question.
Tell them.
Okay, I think a lot of people understand why it's outside the U.S.
We learned
And
this lesson a long time
at the
ago.
same time, why do I know about this? Because I've spoken to the CEO. They've asked me to support them in their funding. Why? Cancer sounds like a big deal, doesn't it? A treatment for cancer that can take an $80,000 ticket, for example, for chemotherapy and take it down to $8,000. Doesn't that make sense to just rush in and fund and support? But I guess that's not the priority. In fact, if they have the balls to take the EpiPen for allergens and and take it from $12 to $500,
It still didn't go
why
down.
would we even think that they would take an $80,000 a year product and have them reduce 90% of the revenues? Why would they do that? But we want that, don't we? We want the best for ourselves. And because we want the best for ourselves, we have to rely on ourselves. And this is what Aevolve is. Aevolve is us. Aevolve is all of us. That's why we say Big Pharma is sick, and we, all of us here, we're the cure.
Maybe one more. You guys got
Sure.
one more for
Talk
us.
about ALS?
I know we can
We
hit
talk about that.
more
We
in the
can talk about
future.
the-
But I just want to hound this in home, and then we've got a couple more questions
Sure.
that I think that we should
Talk about
address.
the ELS.
But give us one.
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
want to share?
Should I talk about that?
Yeah, talk about that one. That's a good
Sure,
example.
sure.
Great
So-
example, actually. Because these guys are, anyway. This is a
So
great
this
example.
will be probably one of the companies we'll be featuring next year.
ALS is a very important disease that doesn't get as much.
Which challenge was that? That was the
So-
ice
so
bucket
every-
challenge?
everybody-
That was the ice you
everybody
guys remember
knows
the
that-
ice bucket challenge?
Ice bucket
My kids did
challenge.
the-
Say
ice bucket
yeah
challenge.
if you do. You guys remember the ice bucket challenge? Yeah,
Okay, the ice bucket
I'm
challenge.
sure they do.
Look, the ice bucket challenge.
Generate a lot of money.
The ice bucket challenge was around the disease called ALS. ALS affects both young and old, right? And it's a rare disease. So in other words, to give people an understanding, a rare disease is defined in the United States as something that affects less than 200,000 people. All right. So that's one of your categories there. So ALS is what we consider a rare disease. And there was a movement for awareness. So Bill Gates got in on it, presidents got in on it. It went internationally. They're throwing ice on their heads, and I'm not even sure what that accomplished.
Water bucket.
And so
Ice water.
it's ice water,
Yeah,
right?
you just pour a bucket of water in there.
And so what did that do? That created a awareness. Governments, the U.S. government responded by creating a couple $100 million in terms of grant research funds. But what's crazy about it is that when it was happening, there was already a company in California that for the last 8 years was already treating ALS through a modified form of an enzyme. Now, this company, utilizing it was a form of their phrase is always, we treat the brain through the gut, through the stomach. They actually treat the brain through the stomach. And what's crazy about it is that, let's say you and I are at 40 points. So in other words, at 40 points, you're diagnosed with being able to think, I want to move my hand, and it reacts. It is ideal. By the time it declines to 39, 38, if you have ALS, you are literally by 35 points, you're going to accelerate very quickly into death. You're declining. Now,
on the market, is there anything that moves that?
right now on the market, there is nothing that moves ALS 1 point backwards.
Not even 1 point.
Right? Not 1 point. This technology has been moving it 6 to 8 points at its max, right? But imagine 6 points. That means if you're halfway through the disease, it's reversible. Now, this company can't get funding. It can't get funding because the very nature of its technology is literally, it's too easy to replicate, according to some of the big guys.
Wow.
Right?
We can't share all the details, obviously.
Yeah, but it's so they're FDA approved. They are they went through the ringer. They have their products ready, but guess what? You don't know about it. You don't know. You know about ice water, but you don't know about an actual treatment that's reversing it. Think about that. You know about ice water, right? You know about ice buckets, but you don't know about the actual treatment that's been reversing it by 6 points.
Maybe you could say an example of why they don't get their funding.
Well, the examples, the reason is very simple. It's because why would a company put $100 million in investing into that company when their competitor can easily replicate it the following month and their patent would break? And now they can't make the billions that they want and milk it, and they'll be forced to do one thing: drop the price, be competitive. Oh my God, right? Why would you do this? So they can't make the big profits that they want, and so guess what? Somebody else can do that.
Right.
And who's that somebody else?
Right.
And so, let me close it off. What ended up happening? That very company is alive today for only one reason: the families of the patients have spent everything that they have to keep it going. They have survived because they've saved lives, but it's not enough. And it's not enough because they've kept the lights on, they kept the science going, and they kept the treatment facility open, but they literally can't keep it going so that the hundreds of thousands that need it could actually get to that level. And they became an early buyer of AVEX token just so they can secure their spot to be one of the few early biotechs to be released.
Nice.
So Aevolve basically acts as the matchmaker between the company who invented that, the people who invented that, and the people who need it. So we marry that together. That's what Aevolve is for. They can get their funding. Oh, the camera's here, sorry. They can get their funding. Okay. I'm looking at me. So anyway, they can get their funding because the people can get their access. This is the way it should have been the whole time. With blockchain technology and the platform that we created, this is now possible and it's going to happen.
Love it.
Very good. Very good. Mastery YM is coming up. I think Fabian has some competition there.
That's awesome. Okay.
Very good.
So
there was one question that I was asked, and I wanted to.
it was did you always know you wanted to go through crypto?
That's a very interesting question. So I wanted to answer that.
And then we've got some questions by Matt, if we can hit those, because there's easy answers for those questions.
Okay, cool.
So Matt, we got you. Trust me, bro. There's an answer to everything, and
Yeah.
it's clear. It's just
The first part of our
Layer.
story was biotech, medical innovation. We were inventing a product to treat people for diseases that are affected by beta amyloids, which my father invented, a nanomolecular medical device treatment that extracts beta amyloids from the blood from outside the body. After we received our FDA approval for this treatment, now we're approved, we're ready to move to commercialize. What do you need for that? You need money, right? To build the clinical infrastructure out just so we could treat people in the first place. So that's when actually Vaughn's here thought of using blockchain, using blockchain to our advantage to basically, like I said, a bridge. We can actually generate the funding we need to provide these treatments by selling reservations to them.
But you know what I'm going to tell them too? Because he asked, did we always know we were going to use blockchain?
That was it.
Let me tell you how old school we were. When there was during the Greece time, I the story that I opened up with, when there was a slowdown with the investors and because of the financial crisis that was taking place in Europe, I decided to build a multi-exchange arbitrage platform, and that's right, no, absolutely.
Okay.
And because of that multi-exchange arbitrage platform, we were able to fund through crypto our pharma projects.
Okay. So that sounds like a nice bundle of big words. That's really cool.
Sure.
I get that you're a genius. Awesome. But how like what does that actually mean? How were you actually funding this? Yes,
It was quite
you guys
simple.
needed money.
We built a machine that would buy Bitcoin for one price and sell it on a different exchange at a higher price. And we built a machine that would do that over and over and over and over again, and detecting technologies everywhere. And those little profits, we paid for our patents, it paid for our researchers, it paid for our doctors. And so did we always know about Bitcoin being part of it? No, we used Bitcoin to help fund our very science.
So you built a machine.
That's actually what we call it, the machine.
We call it a machine.
The machine
That's the name.
that does the trading for you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how you funded
There was
your biotech.
we paid a lot of bills
there was
for
a
that.
crisis. We stuck to our guns. We're not taking VC. And we would have gotten eaten up at that time anyways. And so what happened?
So that was the solution that you built.
Yeah, why not?
That
For
actually
that.
Absolutely.
kept us
That's
going.
absolutely. We did do that.
So for
And in
most of
fact-
us, it was not a concept. It was introduced by him, who was a technologist since he was, born that way. Basically, he sold his first computer software at 8 years old. He could talk about that one day because it was an amazing story. But his father sold the software that he made when he was 8 years old. And so he brought this concept to us. But honestly, when he said, why would we beg, to, people who don't share our vision to absorb a big portion of our company when we could just sell reservations directly to the people and get them what they need?
That's what
We were
came up
like,
with,
wait a
yeah.
second, you could do that? And that's where blockchain
But
started,
I will say this though.
2018.
When we were building the machine and using crypto to fund it, that's when we were watching all these ICOs. That's when I was
Yeah.
like, how come these guys
I
are
guess
getting
that's
all this
the
money and
reason.
we're struggling? Meanwhile,
That's when I was killing it with ICOs.
That's when he was killing
I
it.
built a nice little algo, 5,000 to 1 million. I did okay.
No. I built a nice little algo. And so, in fairness, we would always joke that we should have our own token one day. And so the funny thing was,
We didn't know we were gonna connect it that
when we
way,
got
though.
that FDA approval, it actually became, hey, let's do this. Let's build that platform.
Yeah.
So these are the roots.
That's where it
These are the
started for our
roots,
own technology. But then we realized, because my dad wasn't just the Alzheimer's guy and diabetes guy and other all the stuff that he's done. He was actually the catalyst to a whole planet of medical innovation reaching fruition.
Amazing.
Very
Amazing.
good.
Amazing. So
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for sharing the stories.
Thanks.
Guys, we are going a little over our time. So we will address some of the other questions that we did receive tonight or today. But first, let me just clarify. We were supposed to, or we had mentioned that we were going to go through a couple things today.
Yes.
One of them being kind of like the brief overview of the tokenomics. And so maybe you can address why we decided to postpone that.
So FYI, guys, in fact, I see there are questions around this.
Appreciate you, Crypto Whale.
So any questions regarding the wallets and the lock stuff, I'm going to tell you there's going to be a very big shift in terms of, it won't affect the financials of it, but it'll actually make it better. There is a technology upgrade that we're doing. When we created the token in 2018, there was a set of tech that was actually available at the time.
Yeah.
We even had to do, and there was also early days as well. So we had to go ahead and do a pre-mint, and we minted the entire thing because there was a security hack and a flaw in Ethereum, etc. Nowadays, we have some amazing new features. NFTs got more advanced. We got DeFi into the mix. We have staking and all these cool concepts that are coming out. So there is going to be an actual technological token and platform upgrade. And so we're going to be announcing that very soon. And this actually will mean there are going to be some adjustments, and all I guarantee you for the positive in terms of the perception and tokenomics of this thing. It'll be very, very clean on how we're going to transition. But please look forward to that. So I decided to postpone that because that is going to be something where we just recently achieved our setup here. So we can actually create a switch view in terms of the wallets, because the last thing I want to do is engage in the conversation that's going to raise more questions.
Right.
That's actually not,
It's gonna go down
that
a
can
rabbit hole
easily
that-
be
It's not going to be
explained.
relevant anymore in a couple weeks.
Well, it's not the relevance, but
right?
also it'll be easily understood with a picture.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Got
So
it.
it'll be
Makes
easier this
sense.
way.
Makes sense.
All right?
So guys, just bear with us. Be patient. I think those of you that have been watching and hanging with us can tell what type of people that we are by this point, that we actually, like Crypto Whale said, are in the process of building out something positive, and we're trying to bring a community together with us. We have the tech, we have the labs, we have the devs, we have the scientists, we have the white paper, we have the published research papers, and
Not
we
to
have
mention international patents.
international patents, etc. You know, he's built a machine, and you know, I mean, we've got a lot going on here. We just want to build the community around it that is starting to pick up, you know, what has been layered on over the course of 3 years, and I'm still picking it up as well. I recently joined the team, so
I'd like to say one
guys.
more
There we
thing.
go.
also.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, you're looking at this, you know, because I know it's the crypto community, a lot of people that come this direction, you know, on these AMAs. But you know, what's different about us is that we're coming from a biotech and medical innovation perspective. So this is really, for us, this is a healthcare project with a blockchain solution. So you know, that's why I think that we were able to form this in such a really beautiful way. Compliance we're used to, you know, all that stuff where a lot of people run away from it. And, you know, in the crypto community and all these projects, there's a lot of BS out there. You know what? We're going to be those people calling out the BS and showing you what we did to make it work. Okay. So we're going to show you the good side of blockchain.
Okay, guys. Awesome.
Awesome.
All right.
Guys,
So
thank you once again for joining us, and we're gonna count up who the unique referrals were, and
right.
and reach out to you via Telegram. Okay.
I just looks like Mastery and Fabian. I'm
Yeah,
the lead
looks-
right now,
yeah.
we'll see.
So we'll have to figure out who it is. But we'll be continuing to do fun stuff like this. So please join our next AMA. We want you guys to get to know us. We want you guys to join the community, and definitely check out the token. It's on PancakeSwap right now. You know, buy dips, buy highs, whatever, and then let's see what happens in 6 months when we list our first biotech company. Yeah.
AVEX for life.
AVEX for life.
AVEX for life.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Take care.